Ever felt like just being around certain people leaves you completely drained? If you're stuck in that loop of feeling exhausted, devalued, and constantly walking on eggshells, guess what? That feeling isn't just in your head. It's a serious red flag. Sticking around in these toxic situations can actually lead to things like ongoing anxiety, depression, and making you doubt who you are. You know what I'm talking about. The endless drama, the nitpicking, the feeling like your emotions just don't matter. Or worse, being made to feel like you're the one asking for too much or you're the problem. That's pretty much your life when you're caught up with toxic relationships. It's all about manipulation, disrespect, and them not caring about how you feel. You might feel completely stuck, wondering if this is all there is, if this is just how life is supposed to be. But what if I told you that you can break free from this? Not someday, not next week, but right now. Staying quiet in these kinds of relationships isn't just a bit awkward. It's genuinely bad for you, and it comes with a cost. Think about it. That constant pit in your stomach, that feeling like you're always tiptoeing around, that dread you feel before you even see certain people, that's not just stress. That's literally your body and mind signaling to you that something needs to change. Just as your stomach will grumble when you're hungry, or your mouth gets dry, or the occasional headache when you need to rehydrate, your body sends out signals when something is wrong or lacking. And when boundaries are not clearly established, you're essentially wide open to constant stress, emotional burnout, and feeling bitter all the time. You might even get stuck in patterns of being codependent or enabling their bad behavior. And your confidence, well, that takes a nosedive. You start questioning your own sanity, and that spark you used to have, well, that starts to fizzle. It's not uncommon for people in these situations to develop anxiety, depression, or just find it impossible to trust anyone, even themselves. And the sneakiest part, the people causing all of this, they often flip it and make you feel like it's your fault for their actions, for their fights, for everyone being miserable. And this is the kind of blame game and emotional twisting that can really mess with your head, making you think you're the one who needs to try harder or be different. But here's the deal. You can't fix something you didn't break. And staying silent or staying put costs you your peace, your happiness, and honestly, it can cost you your life. So when does this change? This often seesaws between a light bulb moment or a tough wake-up call where you finally get it and you finally get that you deserve so much better than this. This isn't about pointing fingers or blaming someone. It's about taking your power back. Realizing that you need boundaries, that's step one, and a huge step to looking after yourself. It's you saying, hey, my feelings are real and what I need matters, and I'm allowed to protect my head and I'm allowed to protect my heart. This is where your story flips. You stop being tossed around by what's happening to you and start building your peace. It's deciding that your well-being at this point, it's not up for debate anymore. So what exactly are these boundaries you hear so much about? Basically, they're lines you draw when it comes to what you will and won't put up with from other people. Think of it like your personal rule book for how people get to treat you if they want to be in your life. First things first, you've got to figure out your limits. What are the things that consistently make you feel disrespected, anxious, or drained? Is it the constant put downs, the advice nobody asked for, the yelling, the people poking into your private business? I mean, at this point, you have to get really specific. For instance, you might decide, I'm not going to stick around for talks where I'm being yelled at or called names. Or maybe I'm not going to talk about my personal choices if this just turns out to be a judgment session. Know what you can give a little grace to and what's a complete no. After you figure this out, then comes the tricky bit. Telling people about these boundaries clearly and firmly. This can be tough, trust me, I get it. But I would recommend using I statements like I feel and be straight up, however, respectful. Don't be wishy-washy, stand on business. For example, I feel hurt when you pick apart my choices and I need you to stop. If you keep doing it, I'm going to have to end this conversation. Or I need you to call before you come over. I won't be able to just open the door if you show up out of the blue. And hear me out. You do not need to write a novel explaining why you have these boundaries. No is a full sentence. Wanting to be treated with respect, that's all the reason you need. Hold your ground. People who are used to walking all over you, they usually don't like boundaries. Not one bit. They might get angry, try to make you feel guilty, play the victim, or even ramp up the usual antics just to see if you'll cave. And this is normal, even though it's really hard to deal with. At this point, sticking to your guns and standing on business is everything here. Don't back down, don't get sucked into a fight, and please don't start explaining your needs all over again. This is where actually enforcing those consequences come in. Because honestly, a boundary without consequence is, you got it right, it's just a nice idea. If someone crosses your line, you have to follow through with what you decided the consequence would be. That might mean hanging up the phone, leaving the room, cutting back on how much you see them, or sometimes in really tough situations, realizing that going no contact is the only way you can get your peace back. For example, if you said you'd end the call if they start yelling and they proceed to start yelling, you just calmly say, like I said, I'm not going to continue this conversation if there's yelling, so I'm going to hang up now. And then you actually do it. This isn't about punishing them. It's about protecting you and showing people how you need to be treated. So one of the other questions I get is, how do I navigate boundaries in romantic and family dynamics? And I usually say the basic ideas are the same, and putting these into practice can feel different depending on who you're dealing with. So with a partner, it might look like being crystal clear about what's not okay, like them being controlling or lying all the time, and making sure you are taking care of yourself even if they push back. With family, it can be tricky because of history of old habits, expectations, and guilt trips. However, I'm here to tell you and let you know that your well-being has to come before what family expects. This could mean saying, no, we're not talking about that, or deciding not to go to every single family thing if it always ends up being a disaster for your mental health. And if they call you distant, you'll have to learn to handle that guilt and be willing to walk away when there's no evidence and willingness to change. Just remember, putting your mental health first isn't selfish, it's essential. Now, when you start setting and actually keeping healthy boundaries, it's a game changer. Seriously. You start to feel better about yourself, like you actually matter. That nonstop stress and worry, it starts to fade, and you feel more calm and in charge. And your relationships, the good ones, they become even better because they'll be built on real respect. But the biggest thing is, you'll feel so much more empowered. You know you can look after yourself and build a life that actually feels like yours, one that lines up with what you truly care about and need. So if any of this resonates and you're ready to make that change, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on taking back your power and creating a life that you genuinely love. I'll also love to hear your story and your thoughts down in the comments. You're definitely not alone in this. And also, please remember, if setting these boundaries feel impossibly hard, or if there's any kind of abuse happening in the relationship, seriously consider reaching out to a therapist or a counselor. They can really help. Breaking free from toxic relationships is not a walk in the park, but it's 100% possible. It all starts with you valuing yourself enough to say, enough is enough. It's one of the biggest acts of self-care and self-love you can do. You deserve to feel peace, respected, and happy. So go on, build that life for yourself. You got this.